Hi, I'm Raylene, and welcome to Khaleesi Clues. This video will be discussing Daemon's dreams from Season 2 of House of the Dragon, Episode number 6, titled Smallfolk. I do not believe this video contains anything that would be considered a spoiler. So here we go again. This episode starts off with Daemon dreaming of the day that King Viserys confronted him about toasting to the death of his child as the heir for a day. This time around, we get to see how both Daemon and Viserys were affected emotionally. Daemon facing Viserys' anger and accusations with tears in his eyes. We also see, as Viserys is saying Daemon chose to celebrate his rise, laughing with his whores and lickspittles, instead of being by his side, Daemon is shaking his head and quietly says no, which to me makes me think that he is being honest, that Daemon was dealing with his grief as best as he could at that moment and chose to surround himself with distractions rather than actually confronting his true feelings and being strong enough to stand by his brother who really needed him. Followed up by whispering softly, "Don't," before Viserys tells him that he is naming a new heir. King Viserys is shown sobbing after ordering Daemon to leave King's Landing and return to Runestone. So the dream is also showing Daemon how hurt Viserys was and how hard it was on him to actually send Daemon away. Daemon is trying to leave the throne room, but the doors will not open. As Daemon is in a panic to open the door, Viserys leans back on the throne, hitting his crown on the swords, which makes the ringing sound. The sound jars Daemon as he looks back at Viserys. It's almost as if he was checking to make sure the crown had not fallen off his head again. Daemon then falling to his knees, almost like begging for the doors to be opened. Once again, Simon Strong is right there as Daemon crawls through the now open doors. Daemon is at a breaking point. He looks like a madman and is acting erratic. He is questioning Simon's loyalty and connection to his nightmares. Then the strangest thing happens. Simon, in attempts to calm Daemon down from his madness, begins shushing him. I was completely shocked and was thinking, did he just shush him? I thought for sure Daemon was going to go off on him, but he reacted exactly opposite. The shushing worked. Daemon calmed down, letting Simon go with just a warning. The only thing I can think of so far about Simon shushing Daemon is that it sounded very similar to the dragon handlers when they were trying to calm sea smoke down for Sir Darkland. The way they would drag out the S's at the end of their words. Even some of the sounds that the dragon made while breathing and moving around. I don't know, but usually if you shush a person in the middle of a tirade or a breakdown, they end up reacting with more anger. Now, a crying baby, you can shush them to calm them down or even put them to sleep. Another red flag to me is Simon acting as if he has no idea what is plaguing Daemon, asking him if he is getting enough sleep. I find that very hard to believe that Simon would not know about Daemon experiencing these crazy dreams, as if this has never happened there before. Matter of fact, I find it kind of strange that out of all the people living there, Daemon seems to be the only one having these dreams. I have to agree with Daemon. Simon is totally mocking him with his innocent act, asking if he is not getting enough sleep. As Daemon is getting ready to leave Harrenhal, he runs into Alice, who is standing before the weirwood tree, and Caraxes, who seems completely unfazed by her presence, is not far in the distance. I don't think she is quite ready to give up on Daemon. Confronting him about his choice of always wanting to leave seems to provoke him, yet it also makes him realize his actions. I found it interesting that Alice tells Daemon that they are just pieces on a board and that he struggles to see, blinded by anger. I think her comment is about this eternal war that is going on between R'hllor and the Great Other. Everyone is who they are and where they are for a reason. Some have a larger role to play in this war. Daemon is one of these pieces, yet he cannot see this yet. She sees this potential in him and is trying to help guide him, but she cannot force what path he takes. The choice is his. Finally, the hard-headed Daemon asks her for her counsel about dealing with the Rivermen. Alice brings up something that Daemon already knows, and that is without Lord Grover Tully, the Rivermen will not raise their swords as one. Daemon calls him a dotard, and, feeling defeated, says there is nothing he can do then. She agrees, but also tells him to wait 3 days, that the winds will change. The next scene we have of Daemon is another dream of Viserys. This dream is different for Daemon. Viserys is seen sobbing over Aemma and their child. Instead of Daemon choosing to leave Viserys alone to deal with his grief, Daemon actually goes to him, apologizes for not being there for him when he was needed, hugging his brother and reassuring him that he is there now. Like I said in my previous videos, Daemon is being tested at Harrenhal. This dream is showing his progress and his abilities to pass these tests. Once again, Simon wakes him from his sleep, this time with the sad news of the passing of Lord Tully from Riverrun. Simon informs Daemon that the maesters at Riverrun had been at their wits' end trying to help Lord Grover, that Alice had volunteered her renowned skills and applied her craft but was unable to save him. And did you catch that look of disgust on Simon's face as he walked away from Daemon? After Simon leaves, Daemon looks upward twice before bowing his head and begins sobbing in relief. The winds have now changed. I think this episode really proved what I have been suspecting all along. That is the following. Number 1, Simon Strong has been working against Daemon. Number 2, Simon Strong and Alice Rivers may be living under the same roof, but they are not on the same side of this war. They are working against each other. I know a lot of people may think that Alice actually killed Lord Grover Tully for Daemon, but I completely disagree. Alice did not kill Lord Grover. She is responsible for him to finally pass, but that was due to her ability to break the spell or magic that was being used to keep that man alive. Like I had mentioned before, there is something magical about the Strongs. Lord Grover Tully was an elderly man, and it was his time to pass. Keeping him from passing kept Daemon from being successful and able to unite the Rivermen for Rhaenyra, which is so critical for Team Black. The Strongs applied some type of magical spell to keep him in that useless state. Alice finally intervened when Daemon asked for her help. I need to circle back and point out a couple of clues from these two scenes. The first clue is Daemon calling Lord Tully a dotard. It's wordplay time, and let me break it down. First off, the definition for dotard is an old person, especially one who has become physically weak or whose mental faculties have declined, which that's a perfect word for Lord Tully. But when you break the word apart, you get two separate words, do and tard. The definition for do can be to perform, achieve, or complete. The definition for tard can be late, also to delay or impede the development or progress of, to slow up, especially by preventing or hindering advancement or accomplishment. And there it is. Lord Grover Tully was a dotard in both ways. He was used against Daemon by their ability to achieve keeping him alive in order to delay or impede Daemon's development or progress of raising the army of the Rivermen for Rhaenyra. The other clue is Alice and her pet owl. When she spoke to Daemon about not being able to do anything, she lifted her arm and the owl came to her. And what did we see her do? She fed the owl a rat. A rat is considered vermin. So the owl was eating vermin. The definition of vermin is animals that are believed to be harmful or carry diseases such as rodents. And how many rats did we see running around in the Red Keep? It also can be parasitic worms or insects, which totally reminded me of King Viserys with his maggot treatment and his mysterious debilitating flesh-eating disease, which, by the way, I believe was done to him deliberately, a slow, painful death for one of R'hllor's chosen. Another fitting description is people perceived as despicable and as causing problems for the rest of society. This, I think, is perfect for describing the agents of chaos, such as Larys Strong and Musaria. And finally, we get the Latin origin for vermin, which is vermis, which means worm. That, I think, is fitting for the weirwood's tree roots that have been described as huge worms tunneling through the ground. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing to listen to. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up for now. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you would like to show support for my channel, you can like, comment, subscribe, or share. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.